vinyl community. I've got a large vinyl update to do. I believe 19 records with two that just showed up today. And as far as I know, one of them is an official release for this Friday. So I know others have been getting it. It's been shipping out, but I've not listened to it yet because I'm hopping on and doing a video. But I will be listening to it as soon as I am finished with this, and by the time you watch it, I will have already listened to it. But yeah, I've got a bunch to share, and yeah, if I blab away, this is going to be a long video, and you don't want to sit here for that. So let's see. I've gotten records. I think a few of these are from Amazon. I've gotten a bunch from Hell's Headbangers. A few of them are from Overstock.com. And yeah, if I give away where I got the one I was just hinting about, then you'll know what I'm talking about. I want to save that till the end. So we're going to start with a death metal band. I guess I could say it's a German band, but there's also at least one member that's from the UK. It is what you would consider, I guess, a death metal super group because there's members of Morgoth and Napalm Death. Let's see, drummer from Nile, guitar player from Suspiria, and well, this is their second full-length album, and I've not cracked it open. I've listened to clips of it online, but at least Napalm and Morgoth are fantastic death metal bands. So I figure, based on those members and also this killer artwork, this is Insidious Disease, second album after Death, released in 2020. And so it's got Mark, the lead singer from Morgoth, and Sean Embry, the bass player from Napalm Death. And then, as I said, other members, guys that I'm not familiar with, but ex-drummer from Nile. I mean, how could you go wrong with that pedigree of musicians? So artwork, I believe, is a Dan Seagrave. I'm sorry about the glare, but I believe that's a Seagrave album cover, and I love Dan Seagrave's artwork. So there's that. Next up, these next few I got all together from Napalm Blast Records. And so Kreator, most everybody is grabbing their new one. I have not picked up their new LP yet. I'll get it eventually. But there was one from their mid-period that and this one was on sale, and I was like, yeah, I better get it now before before they sell out. And that is Violent Revolution. And yeah, I really can't tell you much about it. I've never owned it. I haven't listened to this one, but I've heard, quite everything from this album prior I've got either on CD or record. And I think I've got one or two of their albums after this, plus they're live, and one of the live ones has some tracks from this. So I know this is going to be a great listen. It is on Transparent Yellow, so it's the most recent press, 2024 pressing. So fantastic German thrash. Next up, this is a band that I think they've got a few albums. This I don't know. This may be like album number 6 or 7. I don't know. This band's got a lot, but I really didn't know anything about this group until I think it was Old Metal Rocker, and I'm sure Scott Waters has probably shown this group. I know one or two other friends that have posted this particular album. This I didn't look to see when was it released. 2013. I do believe this is the original pressing. This is a pretty recent album, most recent album from Suicidal Angels, Profane Prayer. And yeah, I don't own anything by these guys, so I know that maybe 2 years ago this seemed to be all over YouTube and on Facebook, and buddies of mine were all saying how great of a thrash album this was. This is a limited to 1,000 black with red ink spot. Again, Nuclear Blast. And we have a replica album cover, so love it. He's another one. When it comes to thrash, he's the man. When it comes to death metal, it's Dan Seagrave. Of course, there's plenty of other great artists out there too, so not to take away from anybody else. Okay, the next two from the same band. I haven't listened to anything from this group, but my buddy uh, was selling these, had gotten some copies that were signed. So Joe P got, I think they only have two albums. This is a band out of Oregon. They're, I guess, stoner doom, and they're called Elk Witch. So many bands with the name Witch in them, but really like this is, I believe, their second full length. So this one would have been released in 2024. Azimuth, and you can see the 3 band members signed it. It is a gatefold single record. It released on Majestic Mountain Records, and it is a really cool, clear. There's a clear smoke, but then that orange in the center. I've not seen a variant that had that mix of colors, and it works perfectly with that album cover. So very cool. Came with patch and came with a sticker. Really cool of the band to throw that stuff in there. Joe does a great job of tracking down bands, lesser known bands, and that have maybe a stockpile of their albums, want to get people listening to their music, and picks up their stuff and sells them to myself and some other folks that expand our collections through his purchases. This other one is Beyond the Mountain. This would be their first one. Also came with the same patch and sticker, and this one was released in 2022. So this was their first full length. I think they had an EP prior to this, and we got the same members there. And again, actually, this one's not on the same label. This one is Stone. It's released by Elk Witch, but Stonefly Records, and this one is a solid green. It looks real dark there, but it's actually much lighter. You can kind of see that a little bit there with the lighting bouncing off. All right, next up, also from Joe, a boot. And just got this earlier in the week. Haven't listened to it yet, but it's the Scorpions, and this is from 1983. Pop rock, and I'm gonna open it up so we can have a look-see at some of the songs. Of course, 83, it'll have, I'm sure, some of the Uli Roth songs there from his era, but of course also the stuff post Uli. And the vinyl is a transparent, like that clear let's see, song titles, and in case you can't make those out or they wind up showing up backwards, we've got Blackout, Loving You Sunday Morning, Make It Real, Coming Home, Always Somewhere, Holiday, Can't Live Without You, Dynamite, The Zoo, Can't Get Enough. Actually, it seems to be a lot more of stuff from the 80s. So, okay, but it's still going to be, it'll be good. And as far as boot covers, that's not bad. Some boots are horrible. The Skull and the Scorpion, pretty cool there. All right, next, I had picked up a copy of this. It was a US release, colored version, and I don't remember what year, a couple of years ago, and it was a horrible sounding variant. I don't know if the hole was punched off center. It was not good at all. Like, I think I've maybe went back and gave it a second listen, and it's an album I love. I've got it on CD. I desperately wanted to get an older copy, and again, through Joe, this is I believe this one is it's either German or it's Central Europe. It might be Netherlands, but it is Faith No More's The Real Thing, and it's it's a great copy, really good. Got a little bit of writing. Somebody wrote their name on there, but as far as edge wear and all that, it's Euro because it's got the instead of on the side and on the side, it's got the band and the song, the band and the album name right there. It's got the inner insert, but yeah, let's see. So it's definitely not the American press, even though it says American Recordings, London American Recordings. So it's got a little bit of wear on it. It's not going to show through on the video here, but it's got some scuffs and whatnot on there. But I know it's going to play perfectly on my system, and I can't wait to give this a listen. So hooey on the newer pressings and all the color junk. I'll take the OG copy here, and that is an OG. Something else I got from Joe. I've been on a kick for trying to complete my Dark Angel collection. I still need to get the new one on record. I've got it on CD, and I need to get their first album, which is tough to get. I think Scott showed that on Metal Roundtable. He and one of the other guys showed that this past Tuesday, and I'd love to get a copy of that, even if it was repressed. But another one that I never had in my collection and got from Joe was Live Scars. So been wanting this one for a while. I remember seeing it in the stores back in the day. I could have gotten it on CD. I'm sure I could have grabbed it on cassette. This I think it was only pressed in the US and in the UK. This is the Under One Flag variant, and again there's a little bit of scuffs, but I've got the inner insert, and that is also in really good condition besides the little tear there on the side. But really great condition on this. And yeah, this was one I wanted. I actually asked Joe, and he had it, and put it up on his show and got it, snagged it. Okay, this next one is one I've wanted for probably the last 15 years. The lead singer Sky was in a band maybe 10, it could have been close to 10, 15 years ago, and really liked his voice and checked out what other bands he was in. And so there was this band, Deadly Blessing, only released one full length and one EP. Maybe there's some demo stuff out there, but goodness gracious, anytime that Deadly Blessing shows up online, it's either extremely expensive, extremely beat up, or it's just not out there. It's not available. And so this one, yeah, it's a cutout, but again, great condition. Little bit of ring wear forming there on the front, but who gives a crap? This was released in 1988, and as far as I know, it was only released in the U.S. New Renaissance Records. See the black label upside down, but that's typically I think New Renaissance just went with the black label. And yeah, so happy to have this. Was probably within my top 10 albums that I wanted for a long time, and got it for what I consider a really good price. I wouldn't have been able to find it for other than if it were just mangled, and this one not mangled. Okay, one I've got on CD, never got around to getting on record. There's a few times it's been up for grabs and I missed it, and so not this time. Got my hands on Doomsday for the Deceiver. So the first official full-length Flotsam and Jetsam, and this is a UK, I believe a UK. Nope, I take that back. On the back it says manufactured in the Netherlands. So Roadrunner Records, licensed from Metal Blade. So this is not the US, and I'm perfectly okay with that. And it has a little price sticker on the back there, so I can definitely tell that was from the Euro. And also got a really cool promo picture with it, with the original guys. You see Jason there on the right side. So love it. So what a classic 80s thrash album from a band that is still releasing great music. And to go along with that one, they had 2 EPs within the first 2 full lengths, and so this would be the second one. This one came around, or I guess either right before or right after No Place for Disgrace, and this is the Elton John cover song, Saturday Night's All Right for Fighting. But what's cool about this is you get 3 additional tracks on the B-side. You got live songs. And so from that era of the band, so Jason was at this point out of the band. But that's all right, because they're still writing killer tunes, and No Place is a great follow-up to Doomsday. Another one I got from Joe. I have this band is a UK new wave of British heavy metal band. I've got their first release on CD. I've not gotten around to getting the second one, or haven't gotten around to getting their first one on record. But this is their second release, and this is one that I've wanted for a while. Not much of a chance that I would find it in stores here in the US. So I'd either be buying it from someone in the UK or England, or getting it from Joe. And from Joe it is. Crimes of Insanity, Tyson Dog, released I believe in '86, and Neat Records. And this is another one. I don't think it was pressed. I don't think it was ever pressed in the States. So it's got a little sticker there, made in England on that side. The other side doesn't have it. And then we've also got it there in the corner, made in England. And just a really good. Now this one I've only heard little bits and pieces from, but their first album is classic new age British heavy metal. That early British. Early 80s British metal. So if you're not familiar with Tyson Dog, check them out. Okay, next up is not a British band, but a Japanese band, and one that I've explored again through Joe. I've gotten a bunch of their albums, and I've gotten, I think, I've picked up a few Japanese records from a place out west here in the United States. This is one I don't think I'd ever seen this out. I know I've never seen the album before. I wasn't sure it even existed. This is from 1989. It is the band Bow Wow, or Bow Wow, because they started off as Bow Wow, then changed to Bow Wow, and I guess they're back to Bow Wow again. It's got the 5 symbol there. I don't think this is their 5th album. I mean, it could be the 5th one for Bow Wow, but I don't think so, with it being 1989. So the albums actually, they go, the title is Helter Skelter. So they do a cover of the Beatles track. It's the 4th song on side 1. And so that's what they named the album for. I have no idea what that, it looks like something you'd find maybe at a carnival. So I'm not sure what that's all about, but they're a good band. They're cool. You know, if you like your hair metal, sometimes with a little bit of a harder edge, you know, for a Japanese band, maybe I'd lump them in with more like Tesla. I don't know. All right. Now from Boone's Overstock, Charred Walls of the Damned. I don't think I've shown this one on a video yet. This is Cold Winds of Timeless Days. This would be their second album. This one was released originally on Metal Blade Records. The re-release is Brutal Planets, which if you want anything from Brutal Planets, go to boonsoverstock.com. And so really cool band. Of course, you got Tim Owens on vocals. Butcher his name, but he's a musician, producer, I believe, down in Florida. Very gifted guy. You got Steve DiGiorgio. Sorry, always trip over his name. From Death and from Testament, from Sadus, and Richard Christie, who you would know from Death and Iced Earth and Control Denied, which was the Death spinoff band. So how can you go wrong with those 4 guys? And so yeah, album number 2 from them. They've got a third one. I've not heard that one, but maybe if this one sells out, Brutal Planet and the guys from Matt from Brutal Planet will put out the third one, so we could hear that. Okay, next one also got from Brutal Planet, and I held off on getting this one for a while because I had it on record already, but it is, I love this band, Jagdpanzer, US power metal, The Age of Mastery, maybe not one of their better known or better loved albums, but it's good. All of their stuff is good, and so this is, I guess, maybe mid-era, originally released 1998. So this was re-released again by Brutal Planet in 2023. And so, yeah, I said I had it already. So I had, a number of years ago, I had picked up a copy from Night of the Vinyl Dead, I believe, Italian label. And so they do, limited pressing. So this was 500, hand numbered, and licensed from Century Media. And you can see this is a perfect example of Scott Waters' work. Just, nothing against this. And it's a great sounding colored vinyl, and I haven't cracked this one open yet, so I haven't listened to it, but I know it's been remastered, even, past whatever was done on here. But if you really analyze, if I took the sleeve off of this, you're looking at the artwork, it's 10 times better. And then also, if you look at the, let's see if I can get this in close enough. You see there, you can read the Jagdpanzer, The Age of Mastery, and whereas the Italian copy, you got it there in small print, and Scott does a great job of just blowing things up. This version here, the lettering's, it's not bad, and it's kind of creative with that color fade, but you go to something that Scott does, and you don't have to put on your glasses to be able to read it. So kudos to Scott and the guys. No Life Till Metal and Brutal Planet, Rocks Records, all quality vinyl. I've never had to send anything back or contact them and say, oh, this record is scratched, or nope, no issues. So great. This next one is another band that I believe I came to know through Old Metal Rocker and Scott and some of the other guys online. This was released in 2025, so I think it made a bunch of the end of the year lists for a bunch of guys. I sat on it for a while. I just got it. I have not listened to it. I have not opened it up yet, but Misfire, Product of the Environment. These guys are from Chicago thrash band, and I believe this is their second full-length album. So it's thrash. It'll be good. I mean, I've listened to a few little clips, and definitely want to support the up-and-coming bands as much as we do the guys that are still alive and kicking from the olden days. Next up, also Amazon is a 3-record, 3 vinyl set here. Axel Rudy Pell, who I've got a few of his studio stuff. Haven't explored any of the vinyl, but this is a live 30th anniversary, and got this for a steal. And it's got Bobby Rondinelli on drums. Some of you might know Bobby from Black Sabbath in the Tony Martin era, and also he was in, I believe, Rainbow for a while, and probably played in a bunch of other metal bands. I remember Bobby, when I lived on Long Island, Bobby worked at a music store not too far from where I lived. At that point, I knew he was in Sabbath, and I remember I must have gone into this place, and there was a flyer on the, up on the wall that he was doing free drum lessons. So I'll never forget that. Didn't get to meet him, never got in there. But yeah, I thought that was really cool that, a guy from Black Sabbath and Rainbow was doing private drum lessons. So, yep. Look forward to listening to that. And yeah, I think that's got me down to my last 2. I'm thinking about 24 minutes in here. So I saved the new release. But before I get to the new release, I got 2 records from this company, and as soon as I show this one, you'll know exactly what's coming next. So this is Rat Pack Records, and just a few years ago, this was 2024, they released a live 2-record. I believe this was recorded in Japan, and this was kind of like a swan song for the lead singer. And Mike Howe had died, and they had put together this live tribute for him. I think there was a studio tribute too, but it was just, tracks from the studio albums. So I held off on getting this, and the timing was right. So the final sermon live in Japan, 2019. Let's see, the hype sticker just says the final sermon live in Japan 2019, and a limited print vinyl. And this is going to be like that orange, let's see, that orange and yellow, so it matches perfectly with the volcanic explosion there around the Metal Church guitar, which, of course, those of you that know Metal Church, you recognize the guitar. You know that let's see, earlier I was listening to David Wayne's album Wayne, and there you go, there's the guitar. I almost had that playing in the background, but I forgot to put that on. So, I wonder what's coming next. What am I about to show? Couldn't possibly be the brand new Metal Church Dead to Rights album. And yep. So, got the pre-order in. Got the little poster there, signed by the gentleman of the band. It looks like it's a 2-sided dealio. That's cool. And so yeah, I haven't opened this up, but we can see the variant there. I went ahead and went with the darker, so it's like a blue with the black marble, and I forget how many. I don't remember if it's 300 or 500 for the variants, but Dead to Rights, you got the guitar there in the background, of course, Flames again, and we've got 4 tracks on side A, and looks like 4 tracks on side B. And for those of you not in the know, this is their first studio album with Brian Allen, who has been in the band Trauma. I got to see them open up for Death Angel a couple of years ago, and got his signature on a Trauma CD. And those of you in the know would know that Trauma was the band from San Francisco that Cliff Burton started out in before he went to Metallica. So yeah, got to meet Brian and get his signature. Really cool guy, and I'm excited to see Metal Church live. I really hope they do an extensive tour, but would definitely like to see him up on stage again. And then David Ellefson from Megadeth is now playing bass, and you got Ken Mary on drums, who's been in Flotsam and Jetsam at a point in his career, and also Fifth Angel. So these guys they've got the pedigree now. They've always had fantastic band members, but I'm really excited about the group and the members that they've got in the band now, and definitely want to go see them. So there you go. That's a whole lot of just a mix of stuff. I stayed away from the CDs this time. Maybe I'll do another one next week, and I've got a few records coming in, and I've got some CDs, few CDs I can share. But thank you for watching. Leave comments if there's something, if you know of Elk Witch and you've heard their music, you can share about them, or if you've listened to the Metal Church, tell me what you think. Any of you know Insidious Disease? Have you seen any of these bands live? Have you seen Creator? Have you seen Axl Rudy Pell? If you're here in the States, less of a chance, but maybe some of you over there in Europe have had the chance to see Axl's band. So yeah, tell me what you think of those guys. Please like. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe, share. Greatly appreciated. If you have your own channel and you don't think I know about it, share that too, because I try my best to keep up with everybody else's, and it's hard to do time-wise, but if you guys are supporting me, I want to try and support you too. So thank you much for watching. God bless, and until next time, peace.